Hi, it's Sandy Parker, and welcome to Crafting for Almost Everyone. Today we're going to look at some products I got from Globleland, a lot of fun dies, and I hope you'll stay tuned. Well, the first thing I wanted to show you was this set that they sent me, and basically this set creates frames like this. That's this one, and it creates what I'll call confetti. So if you don't want, or you haven't thought about buying plastic pieces, or you don't like the idea of putting them into the environment, you can punch these out. I'm going to show them to you. I made some out of silver cardstock. I made some out of some mirrored cardstock, and I thought they really turned out fun. And I'm going to make a shaker card today, and we're going to use some of these in there. Now, the things I used were not double-sided, and I would recommend, if they're not double-sided, that you glue them into the card, and I'll show you that when I do it. But there are little, wait, let me get my ruler. So back to the little lips, they are 3/8. The little circles are also 3/8, and the weird shaped stars are 3/8 also. Then there's clouds. The clouds are bigger than some of the other ones, and this is almost a 1/2 inch across. These teeny tiny stars are about 1/4 inch, and the little circles are about 5/16. And that's those. Then the stars and the hearts, these are bigger stars and bigger hearts. The stars are about 1/2 inch, and the hearts at the widest part are about 3/8 of an inch across. Then there's high and love, and this says happy. And then here are some really teeny pieces. Now, you don't have to buy things like that. If you have any kind of punches that are small, you know, a little circle punch, that'll be fine. If you have a little star, if you have a little heart, all those will work fine. All you need is a little punch, and a lot of us have them, like our mothers, our grandmothers had punches for whatever. And look around and ask people. I bet you'll find them. I bought a set of these very colorful shaker card components off of Temu, and I'll put the link to those, but I think I'm going to use those for the most part in this card I'm making. And so that's those. Oh, let me tell you how big these other things are. These are about 3¼ inches across. Did I make that up? No, I'm sticking with it. And then these ones are almost 4 inches. And then up and down, this one is almost 2½, and this one is 2. I think these are all the same size. They're 2 inches. Yeah, they're each 2 inches top to bottom. Why didn't I go from the other end where it starts at the 1? I don't know. These are the things I don't do. 3 and about 3 3/4 for all of those. And then this square one, probably would have been easier if I just used the one I punched out, is about 2 3/4 inches, and it's square. So now you have all the measurements of those, and I'm not going to punch out any of the frames other than the ones I've already cut out. I was sent this other die set where you got 4 big background dies, and I wanted to show you what I did with each of them. They are pretty much the full size of a card up and down. So they're about 5.5 inches tall, but they're about 4 inches across. So this one is this. Then this one is that one. And then I really liked, do you see how these kind of look like vases? I'll turn it upside down so you can see. See, that looks like a vase? So what I did was I took the offcuts from it and I made a card that just said sending smiles, and I put ribbon on it, and I think I'm going to put some of my little cutouts in there on it, around it somewhere. Anyway, so these were as simple as just cutting out the dies in different colors or different patterns, which is what I did with all of these. In this one, I used 1, 2, 3 different patterns, and I just alternated them. And then I had these little die cuts of branches and hello, and I just cut those out and attached it. Then this one, I had all kinds of problems with this one, and the thanks didn't want to stay. So, you know me, these things happen. So let me show you the sun, which is this one. I didn't do this one yet, but it's, you know, they're all very similar in how you'd use them. Well, they're exactly the same in how you'd use them. I have this, it's a 5.5 by 4.25 inch card base. I took the sun and I backed it with a piece of acetate. If you can't see it, I hope you can. You see the acetate? Then what I'm going to do, I have these little strips of foam tape that I got from Amazon that are really, really thin, and I love them for things like this because they always, well, they always seem to fit in my little spot where I need them to fit. Hopefully this isn't a surprise, and this one does the same thing, but you never know. So what I want to do, and the white I think is going to show through, which I'm not really thrilled about, but what are you going to do about that? You know what I mean? These things happen. I'm just going to lay this, trying to center it in my, I'm on the back of this sheet, in case you wondered, where I glued the acetate to it. That's good so far. I don't think, well, I haven't decided yet if I'm going to have to double these up, because they're also not very thick, and when you're trying to have shaker components that are as thick as mine are, not the ones that I handmade, but the ones that are plastic that I got from Temu, it's really not easy to get this to work with shaker components if the shaker components are super thick, and these are thick compared to other ones, compared to the ones that I just made. Now, a lot of times I would glue down the these rays of the sun. I'm not going to do that this time. I cleaned this whole thing with water, and then I used an alcohol pad on it, and it's still really smeary. It's kind of bugging me. There's not much I can do about it at this point. I've tried everything, I think. Alright, I'm going to put another layer down and see how that looks. I'm going to take my card base. I'm just going to put little pieces here and there and see if we can get this stuff to adhere to it. So those are good. Just leave them where they are, and then I'm gonna put some of my shaker things. Oh, I have these other things too. Maybe I'll use them instead, because they're more thinner and they might work better. You know what I'm saying? Might work better. Okay, I think I'm going to use my Misti for this. If you've never seen somebody do this, it's a nice way to make a shaker card work when you don't think you're going to be able to get the stuff in it. You know, when you don't think you'll be able to make all the stuff lay in there properly. We're going to get the Misti. You're going to put the card, hopefully you can see that, in the corner of the Misti. I'm going to put some of these shaker things. I think I did that wrong. I think I want to put the other thing in there. I'm going with this. You want to put this in there, and again, it's with the foam tape facing up. Ooh, crap's coming out of there. It's not anybody's fault but my own. Okay, some of these. And then what I'm going to do, before I try and put that in there, I'm going to move these so that they're all over the place. And then I'm going to push that back into the bottom. Hopefully this works. Let's see how I did. So I accidentally cut off the video when I was attaching the front to this, and unfortunately these things happen. And then it worked fine when you put it in the Misti, and it's the shaker components are working really well, and so did the foam, because it wasn't that the shaker things weren't that thick. I think if I'd used the other ones I would have had a problem. I had this sentiment in my stash, and I put it on the same kind of color as this, I don't know if you can see that circle that's in there. That is that one. This is mirror, and this one is like glitter cardstock. So then I'm going to show you these again. This is the one that I used the cutout from this die. I thought they looked like vases, so I just made, and then I added these little enamel dots. And then this one, I had all kinds of issues with the thanks and with coloring it, and now it's curling up because I use stickles, and the stickles is making the words pull up. Why? I don't know why. And then last but not least is this one that says hello, that is from that die. So I hope this gave you some ideas of what you can do to make your own confetti or shaker components for in your cards. If you don't have any punches, then you certainly could get one of these stamp set, or yeah, die sets. And the nice people at Globleland are giving my viewers a 10% off with the code Sandy10. And Rich will write that on the screen right here so you know exactly what it looks like. And you know I always write all the information below the video, so if you're ever looking for anything in any of my videos, including instructions, including the products I use, it's always below the video. And as you know, I'm not affiliated with anybody. I don't make any money from any of this. I'd like to tell you that so that you know that I tell you the truth about the products I'm using if someone sends them to me. And all these people did was send me these, and they cut perfectly. They were nice dies to work with. The only thing, if I had one complaint, the only thing I would say is I wish they were a little bit shorter, because they are exactly 5.5 inches. So when you put them on your card, it goes from top to bottom, but then from side to side it doesn't go. it should be, if they're going to do 5.5, then this should be 4.25, or they should have made this 5.25 because this is 4. If you follow that, the width is 4, but this is 5.5, so it makes it a little bit wonky, in my opinion. Maybe other people don't think that's a problem. I hope you give this a thumbs up and subscribe. Please tell your friends about me on social media because you know I love that. And thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye.